Hello everyone, welcome back to the next session, the next YT session for class 9th. Yes, back to the next session. Let me check if I'm live. Yes, I'm live. Yes, I am. So I welcome you all in another exciting session of ICSE Physics Class 9. In case you are a Term 2 aspirant, this Unacademy is the right place for you. And why am I saying this? Because Unacademy has launched a number of crash courses specifically targeting the Term 2 course for all the subjects. I mean, be it physics, chemistry, maths, bio, whatever, they have this course for everyone. And well, let me first introduce myself. Hi everyone. Hi everyone who's in the session. My name is Kalyan Krishna Awasthi and I'll be taking you forward in this particular session. I'm a physics educator at Unacademy. And I've been teaching physics with, for more than maybe 12-13 years. I've started teaching since 2007 and I'm teaching physics from 2008-9. So, no, and I have been through a number of batches. I have seen a number of students and the best part is I exactly know what kind of questions they ask in your examinations, be it your, class examinations, end term examinations, or maybe in your board examinations when you'll be moving on to class 10th. And the best part is, since I have been teaching class 10 students a number of times, I have taught them a number of times, so I know which particular topic in class 9 is having weightage in class 10th. So this makes all my class 9 sessions very interesting. If a teacher knows, for example, say in propagation of sound, the wave motion part is important and that might be used in class 10th as well. So he'll make sure that all his students are well aware with all the concepts that would ultimately help them score well in the board examinations, because ultimately what you are striving for is a good percentage and later on a selection in either NEET or JEE. Yes, for most of you. Is it so? All of you? So this is where my sessions are going to really help you. Okay. So this is what I'll be covering in today's session: the propagation of sound waves and the wave motion part. So these are the topics for the today's session, and this happens to be my code. Kalyan Live. This is my code. You can use this code to avail 10% discount. Okay. So if you're opting for a plus course, you can rather use my code, or for that matter, to unlock my special classes, you can use this code as well. I'll be telling you about this in the later part of the session, right? And I would request all of you to follow Unacademy Champions channel on the Telegram, and the link of the channel is in the description box. You can click on that particular link and be connected. And why am I asking you to be connected? Because you'll be updated with all the upcoming courses, all the offers rather, so you'll be benefited ultimately. And well, if you are here and you haven't subscribed the YT channel yet, do it immediately. We are striving for 1,000 subscribers. And yes, don't forget to click the bell icon and the like button as well. Yes. Why? Because you'll be updated with each and every upcoming session. Prior to session, you'll be notified about the session. That will be better. Hi, Yash. How are you? Long time. Welcome to the session. Yes. Okay, let's start the session. These are the topics that I'll be covering in today's session: propagation of sound waves and the wave motion part. So the very first thing is a very basic and a very obvious question: what a sound is. The topic is propagation of sound waves. So the waves word is already attached to it. So what is a wave basically? What is a wave? It is in our ears. What is a wave? Anyone? Anyone in the session, what is a wave? Yes. Okay. Yashasvi, yes. I just had a YT session, I forgot. You're there. I had a YT session a while ago, 15 to 20 minutes back. How can I forget you? Yash means the north and the south polarity. Yes. This is a new chapter, so I'm expecting few very good and interesting problems from your end as well. Queries that you normally ask. That's great. That's very good. So can anyone in that session tell me what are waves? see, the topic says propagation of sound waves. Fine, the propagation of sound waves. I mean, sound, they are considered. Hi, Krish. Hi. Hi. Welcome to the session. Welcome to the session. You were there in the special class as well, if I'm not wrong. Yes, Krish? So you can tell me, what are waves? What are waves? Anyone in the session? I mean, let's make it interactive. Yes, let's make it interactive so that we all of us can have fun and enjoy the session as well. What are waves? Shall I tell you? I mean, wave is a disturbance which propagates in a medium with a definite speed. Okay, wave is a disturbance which propagates in a medium with a definite speed. So if I'm saying that sound is a wave, that means, okay, yeah, she's saying a path that carries something. It's not exactly a path. I mean, well, you can call it a path, but technically speaking, it is a disturbance. I mean, waves are created through disturbances. Okay, and these disturbances are caused in a medium, and these disturbances propagate in the medium. I mean, they travel in the medium, and we call it wave. See, now see, if something is moving in a medium, what should it have? I mean, what is the required prerequisite for something to move? I mean, if it is moving, some work is done. If work is done, there is some energy. I mean, you cannot move without the involvement of work and ultimately energy. So if I say that when a wave is moving, if the particles, yes, energy, I mean, yes, mechanical energy. If I say that a wave is moving, the particles or the disturbances are moving, some energy is traveling. Will it be okay? I mean, if I say that some energy is traveling, you'll perceive sound that way? Yes. And you have just mentioned it's mechanical energy. It's okay. I mean, which sort of energy it is, we'll discuss later with a mathematical validation as well. So, see, movement means mechanical energy. I mean, movement means mechanical energy. Yes. If the disturbance is traveling in the medium, if it is moving in the medium, there has to be mechanical energy only. I mean, what we rather do, we perceive it with kinetic energy, but a more generic replication would be mechanical energy. Now, one more question. I mean, what causes sound? I mean, how is this disturbance created? Yes, can anyone tell me? How is this disturbance? See, Krish, we're not talking about the longitudinal part or the transverse part. We have reserved it for some other session. I mean, we'll get back to this. I mean, yes, Yash is saying the vibrations. I mean, see, you could hear something. And why could you hear something? I hope you can hear something. And you're able to hear because when I, hit it here, some vibrations are created and these vibrations are traveling in the air. Yes, all of you. These vibrations are traveling in the air and that is why we can hear something. I mean, sound produces a sensation in our ear and, actually these vibrations are produced somewhere else and they are carried in the medium, and when they hit our ear, we say that a sound is heard. So, technically speaking, in terms of physics, what we'll say vibrations are there. These vibrations are carrying energy, and this energy is being carried by a medium. Yes. How? By the particles of the medium. Yes. Yes. I mean, the medium particles are responsible for transmitting this disturbance in the form of energy, and this energy creates a sensation at our eardrums, and we say that a sound is heard. Is it clear to everyone in the session? Yes, all of you? Come on, I need a thumbs up if it is clear. Okay. Should I repeat it? I mean, there were vibrations created. Those vibrations propagated in a medium, and through the medium particles, they carried energy. And when we had those vibrations at our eardrums, we felt that there was a sound. So there are 2-3 prerequisites and necessary conditions. The very first is vibrations have to be produced. I mean, if there are no vibrations, you won't hear anything. Yes? I mean, without vibration, sound cannot be perceived. And the second part is, okay, there is a vibration, but these vibrations should travel. Yes? See, what happens when these vibrations, these disturbances travel, they carry energy with them. Okay? Vibration is any disturbance that is created. I mean, when the particles of a particular body move about their position. You have asked a very molecular type of question. What happens, I mean, in technically speaking, see, if I take this structure, I mean, I'm taking this particular part, I mean this particular part of my mobile, and I'm trying to watch the intermolecular structure. I mean, there'll be atoms and molecules randomly moving. I mean, if it is a solid, they'll be jam packed. Yes, they'll be jam packed. What I did, I exerted a force. So what will happen? One molecule will be disturbed, this will disturb the other, this will disturb the other, and a cyclic process will be set up, and there will be an overall disturbance. Yes. And see, now a very genuine question. Now let me explain it in another way. Just differentiate the sound. You could hear a sound? Yes. Just differentiate this sound. What is the difference between the two sounds? What does it mean? I mean, what is the difference in the two sounds? Come on, quickly. What was the difference between the two sounds? I mean, the sound that I first is, okay, come on. This. There is a difference. And why is there a difference? Now this will tell you the core concept of vibration. See, this object had a smaller surface area. Yes. This mobile had an even smaller surface area, and this pen tab, it had a larger surface area in comparison to all the three objects. And if I apply the same force, now tell me, in which of these cases a larger number of molecules are exposed? You'll get the answer for the vibration. Yes, Krish. The back of a mobile, a diary, or a pen tab. In which case a larger surface area was exposed? Obviously, in a pen tab, a larger surface area was exposed. When a larger surface area was exposed, a large number of molecules were disturbed. Yes? Yes, a large number of molecules were disturbed. More vibrations were created. And you heard a loud sound. Yes? So see, how is vibration related? The vibration is related to the motion of the surface molecules. I mean, greater the motion, greater will be the sound. You got this? Yes? I hope you did. Now see, these are few examples. See the very first example. The lady has... it did create a louder sound, beta. Yes, it did create a louder sound. The lady has a rubber band, and when she plugs the rubber band, you can hear a sound. And why do you hear a sound? Because vibrations are created on the surface of the rubber band, and these vibrations are transmitted. Okay, fine. Case 2. A hanger. You can see a hanger here. I mean, where we hang our clothes. And again, a vibration is created, a disturbance is created, and it propagates. Now, I have a question for you all, but let me quickly finish it off with this. See, a drum. If you strike the surface of a drum very hard, what happens? The surface undergoes a larger vibration and you hear a loud sound. Yes, this is how it does. How it happens? I mean, the harder you hit it, the more fiercely the surface of the instrument, or that, for that matter, the tabla, is set into motion. and more loud you hear the voice. This is how you do. You've seen it in Bahubali. I mean, they used to, kind of hit the drum hard, and the entire city used to come for the message from the king. Yes. And the fourth example, where what we have done is we have taken a tuning fork, we have hit a tuning fork, and we have brought it close to the ball of a pendulum. Now, this vibrating tuning fork exerts a force, a disturbance, and we can clearly see that the ball moves. Okay, it is displaced from its original position. This is how it works. Okay, I hope you're getting the point what I'm trying to convey. The point is that these vibrations, when they propagate in a medium, we get to hear a sound. Yes, all of you? When these vibrations propagate in a medium, we get to hear a sound. Is it clear to everyone? All of you? Yes? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Now, you can see the definition. Sound travels through the mechanical vibrations of the medium particles in the form of waves. I mean, this is what I have been talking about all this while. The mechanical vibrations. Why mechanical vibrations? Because there is some movement. Okay. And the best part is we do require a medium for the propagation of sound. I mean, if there is no medium, you won't listen a sound. I mean, how hard may I hit this diary? If the air is not present, you will not going to listen anything. Okay. Okay, Krish. Okay, Yash. And who else is there? So requirement of medium is a necessary property. I mean, you cannot avoid this property. Okay. Okay. Okay, now this is a very popular experiment that sets the pace for the requirement of medium. I hope you must have done this experiment in your labs. It's called bell jar experiment. See, what this experiment does is you have got a jar which is called a bell jar. Why do we call a bell jar? I mean, a bell is attached to it. See, you can clearly see there is a jar and a bell is an electric bell is attached to it. On which principle does an electric bell work? Can anyone quickly tell me? We have discussed this in the previous class. I mean, we have had few sessions on it. On which principle does an electric bell work? Any of you in the session? I mean, how does an electric bell work? Come on. Don't disappoint me. Krish, Yash, how does an electric bell work? I mean, how does it function? It has an electromagnet. When you press this key, the circuit is closed, a current flows in the circuit. This current magnetizes the electromagnet. The electromagnet attracts the thong. Yes, it works on electromagnet. The electromagnet attracts the armature. It has a hammer and the hammer strikes the thong. And you hear a voice. Okay, this is how this electric bell works. So this bell jar arrangement, what it has, it has a jar which has air in it. Okay, and you have an electric bell. As soon as you press the key, you hear a voice. Now see what actually happens. The electric bell rings. The electric bell rings. It creates sensation. It creates sound. These vibrations, these sound vibrations, they are transferred to the body of this jar, and they are also set in vibration. And outside, if we are viewing the apparatus from here, we could hear a sound. Yes, we could hear a sound. There was air inside the jar. Fine, you've understood so far, so good. I'm again repeating, we have a bell jar. A bell is fitted within the jar, and we have a vacuum pipe as well. I mean, why is a vacuum pipe? I mean, what is a vacuum pipe used for? A vacuum pipe is used to create a vacuum as and when required. And how is a vacuum created? In order to create a vacuum, what we have to do is we have to ensure that no air remains within the jar. But we'll be getting onto this in the later part. So what happens? We have an electric bell. We we put the key close. We push the key. the current in the circuit flows, the electromagnet of the electric bell, it gets magnetized, it attracts the the hammer hits the thong, and we hear a sound. These vibrations that are created by the electric bell, they are transferred to the body of this jar as well. I mean, they are also set in vibration, and we could easily, and that jar sets the air outside into vibration. I mean, see, two mediums are there. I mean, first of all, there is air within the jar. Okay, it has carried the vibration to the surface. Now the surface is set into vibration, and this surface sets the air outside the jar into vibration, and ultimately we hear the sound. So far, so good. Now there is no vacuum. Yes, initially there is no vacuum. Okay, initially, let me complete the experiment. I mean, let me complete with what I was telling you. There's no vacuum. Initially, there is no vacuum. Okay, initially the jar has air. Okay, now what we do, okay, see, the propagation of the waves depend on the medium as well. I mean, if I create a sound within the glass, fine. If this is a glass, and on the other hand I take a steel glass, so in both the cases the intensity of the sound will be different. It depends how strong the medium, the medium particles get vibrations. If they are receiving strong vibrations, the same vibrations will be transmitted outside. Yes, it happens both with sound and light. Have you seen glasses in the office, the see-through glasses? I mean, the person sitting inside can see you, but you cannot see what the other one is seeing. The same thing happens with sound as well. It is all about the medium particles. Okay, the medium, the underlining medium plays a vital role in that regard. Okay, Krish? Yes, beta? Fine. So if we are using a thick glass or maybe a very hard glass, we won't be able to hear anything. I mean, although sound vibrations will be created within the room, but the glass, it will not facilitate. I mean, the glass particles come into vibration, they set the air outside into vibration, and that is why we hear the sound. If the medium is not present, or maybe the energy is not transmitted across the medium, it will not propagate. I mean, we hear because the energy, the sensation, it propagates. Yes, they used to have kal kotris, na? You have seen in the movies. I mean, a person keeps on shouting, but you cannot hear anything. What they used to do, they used to have a very thick wall, and they used to do special coating which used to prohibit the passage of vibrations. This is how we can do. I mean, we do have now the civil engineering has developed a lot. We do have proper coatings for that. I mean, you have seen on the terraces now. Yes, the vacuum is not there. I'm telling you, just listen to me, bhai. There is no vacuum. There is a vacuum pump. A vacuum pump creates a vacuum. I'll be creating a vacuum later on. Abhi to there is no vacuum, bhaiya. There is no vacuum. You have seen on our terraces nowadays in North India, where it's very hot, they have a proper coating. Yes, that coating reflects heat. Okay, see, have you heard this? I mean, you can see on the television ads as well. I mean, in when the temperature rises to 45, 46 degrees centigrades, you prominently see those ads. Get the Asian paint coating on the walls, on the surface of the terrace. They provide heat insulation and all. So what is this? The medium is playing the part. Yes, the medium is very important for sound, light, heat, everything. Okay, the medium plays a very important role. So let's get back to the topic. What I was saying is, yes, it's for leakage as well. It's for leakage as well. They do have this coating nowadays. That is called, I cannot recall the name. I have that coating on my terrace. I mean, it rains heavily in North India So most of the houses nowadays have that coating. In the flats as well you have nowadays. Okay, so Yash, now listen carefully. There was a medium and you heard the sound. Now through vacuum pump, see, the bell is pressed, I mean the key is pressed, and the sound is continuously produced by the electric bell. We haven't stopped making the sound, I mean we have kept the bell ringing. But now what we do, we use this vacuum pump, and through this vacuum pump we slowly, I'm from Lucknow, and from this vacuum pump we slowly expel the air out, I mean we take the air out from the vacuum pump. Okay, we take the air out from the vacuum pump. Now as soon as the air is being taken out, what happens, I mean slowly and steadily a vacuum is created. Yes, concentrate, now the vacuum part comes. I mean initially there was air, but slowly and steadily the air is taken out. Now see, you could clearly notice the difference in the loudness. I mean, as soon as you start this pump and you keep on, uh, you know, uh, expelling the air from the glass, removing the air from the bell jar, you can clearly hear the sound fading. Fine, the sound starts fading, and you keep on removing the air from the bell jar, you keep on removing the bell, the sound keeps on fading, it keeps on fading, and a point is achieved where you create a perfect vacuum. I mean you have removed all the air from the jar. Now the bell is pressed, the key is pressed, the hammer is striking the thong, the bell is creating a sound, but you cannot listen anything. Okay, still the bell is ringing, still it is creating a sound, but you cannot hear this sound. I mean it's not audible. Why is it not audible? I mean why cannot you listen the sound? You could clearly see, by it's a transparent jar, you could clearly see the hammer striking the thong. I mean it keeps on striking, but you cannot see it. Yes, vacuum is created by this pump. This pump takes the air out from the bell jar, and when all the air when all the air is taken out, automatically a vacuum is created. Okay, yes, you are right. We cannot hear a sound because there is no medium. Okay, so what does this experiment establish for us? What are the consequences of this? Yes, the vacuum is created by the pump. The pump takes the air out from the bell jar, and ultimately a vacuum is created. Okay, yes. Is it clear? Okay. Now, what are the inferences from this particular experiment? I mean, what can we conclude from this experiment? We can conclude that yes, vibrations, I mean medium is very necessary for the propagation of vibrations, or rather we call it sound requires a medium for propagation. Okay, yes, very good. See, I have written this in these particular slides. I'm giving you 30 seconds, just go through it. Okay, it's self-explanatory. It says when the hammer strikes the thong, it's not thing, corrected, it's thong. When the hammer strikes the thong, the sound is produced due to vibration of the thong, and the same sound travels through air to the wall of the jar. Okay, this causes vibration in the wall of the jar. The outside air is thus set into vibrations as well, and we hear sound. This is what I have told you. When the air is removed, although vibrations are produced, but they don't have a medium that could help them propagate. I mean, the sound is created, the vibrations are created, but we cannot hear any sound. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Sound requires a medium for propagation. Okay, this experiment justifies this particular concept. Is it clear to everyone? Yes. Now let me quickly brief you about the batches that we are having. We are having a Mavericks batch for ICSE Class 9 students. A number of my students have already joined it, right? The batches have started from 17th of Jan. They are going through, they are running very smoothly. And the best part is that the mode of delivery here is English, okay? So if you are an ICSE Class 9 student and you are preparing for your term 2 exams and you want to cover the entire syllabus with proper coverage, all the doubt solving questions, you should rather go for it, okay? This was the last point. Just go through it. Yes, yes. Fine. And we have this Udan batch as well, okay? Arey bhaiya, okay, just note it down quickly. Yes, Krish. The test that was today. Why didn't you give, I mean, you missed the test. You can attempt it on the next date. Okay. So you have this Udan batch as well. And in this particular Udan batch, again, the same content is delivered, but this time the mode of delivery is Hindi. And you know what the best part is? The best part is if you're subscribing for class 9 in either batches, I mean, be it anyone, you get the 10th, 11th, and 12th part absolutely free. Okay. So this is the best part. And let me brief you about the salient features of Unacademy portal that we are having. You get to learn at your home at your own pace. I mean, if you wish to pause a lecture, watch it again, any number of times, unlimited number of times, you have that access, okay? And you get to learn from the top educators. I mean, the quality of teachers that they have at Unacademy is just too good. And I keep on telling you, this is the best part. I mean, this is the best that I find. Every fourth session is a doubt clearing session. I mean, what more can you ask for? You're free to ask your doubts. I mean, whatever doubts you have, be it theoretical part, numerical part, you have a problem in any of the paragraphs in the book, you can, send it to us. I mean, you can raise a hand in the plus classes, you can raise a hand in a special class, you can click a pick and you can send us, okay? So you have that leverage. And the entire syllabus is covered in a very exhaustive manner. I mean, we don't leave any topic. Okay, all the previous year board questions, the questions that are important for your end term exams, the term 2 exams that I guess might be happening very soon. So you get to, solve all those questions. So this is the best part. And well, look at the pricing part. And yes, in case you wish to subscribe, don't forget to use my code KALYANLIVE. This is my code, Kalyan Live. I would request you rather to use this code and avail discounts. This is the pricing part. I mean, if you keep on moving ahead for higher durations, just see the difference in the pricing. I mean, a 48-month plan will cost you only rupees 750 per month. Getting this point? That's great. I mean, that's just too good. On top of that, no problem, Yash. And that too, if you use this code, you will be getting 10% discount. I mean, which school are you in, Yash? I mean, which state? Which school, which state? I mean, normally in most of these schools, what they do is they follow the council rule. I mean, I don't know which school are you talking about. Hi Ananya, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Ananya, have you attended any of these special sessions earlier? I mean, is this your first class, or have you watched any of my special classes or any of my YT sessions? Have you watched any of my YT sessions or any previous classes? Okay, okay. So you have seen YT classes or the special classes? Okay, it's your first class. Okay, no problem. Well, you can watch the other classes as well, Ananya. If you want to, obviously it will be a exams will be there. No second thought about that. Term 1 exams in 2002 for class 10th. Yes, they will happen. I mean, why won't they happen? I mean, I didn't. Yes, what do you want me to cover? I mean, I'm not getting your point. I'm not getting your point. You want me to cover the entire syllabus. I mean, that is a administrative issue. You should rather drop a mail to that. I mean, you must be receiving calls. You must be receiving mails from Unacademy. So you can just drop in your query. I mean, if the system allows, I'll be more than comfortable. Or what you can do is, I mean, they might be starting with the fresh batches soon. I mean, I don't know when your exams are falling, no idea about it, but well, you can join that batch, no issues. One thing is for sure, you're not going to get a YT session for that, neither a special class. I mean, if you are a plus subscriber, I might follow up with you and I might solve your queries in the doubt session, but not on YT or special. I mean, no, it's not possible. I'm telling you, that is what I'm telling you. I cannot take heat on YT beta. Okay, you have an option. What you can do is you can attend the special classes of class 10th. I mean, there I'll be taking up heat. Calorimetry rather. I mean, I guess you have problem in calorimetry. This is where everyone has problem. Yes. So you can do it that way. You can go for a plus subscription, drop a mail, they will arrange a class for you. There is no second thought about this. I mean, on YT, I don't think I'll be having a heat class for class 9th rather. I mean, no. Sir, can you please explain the plus subscription of class 10th? Yes, obviously I can explain you. In class 10th, we are having two batches. Okay. And we are having two batches. The very first is the Mavericks batch. The batches are already running. I mean, they have started from 17th of Jan, but uh, one more batch is starting from 1st of Feb, the Champions batch. And all these batches will cover the entire syllabus. Okay. In fact, a number of students have already joined those batches. Okay. Avanya, so don't be late. And we have an option for this Hindi as well, the Udan batch. I mean, if you are comfortable with the Hindi part, you can rather go with the Udan batch. Okay. Or else you can opt for the Mavericks batch. In Mavericks batch, I mean, these are the faculty members. We do have a faculty for maths. Harneet ma'am is taking maths. The pick is missing, but you know, she is very much a part. So, I mean, these are the two batches. I mean, they are for class 9th and 10th as well. The names are same for class 9th and 10th. Here also you have for class 9th and 10th. Okay. So you can rather go for it. Okay. Anvaya, right? And let me brief you how to go about it. What you can do is you can download the Unacademy Learners app, right? You can download the Unacademy Learners app, and there you'll be directed to the section part, and you can select class 6 to 12th. You'll be getting an option for selecting class 6 to 12th. You just click on it and you'll be routed to this particular. I mean, these are the pricings and they're very competitive. I mean, just see, A 6-month subscription will cost you only 1500 per month. That too, if you'll be using my code, this is my code. In case you wish to take this subscription, just use this code and avail 10% discount, right? That will further add value to it. And I was telling you about, this is the list of my upcoming special classes. If any of you wish to attend these subsequent classes, just take a pic of this particular slide and see. 24th, tomorrow I'll be taking up this wave motion part, then speed of sound, then we'll be talking about frequency. You might find it very awkward that the sir is having a class on the definition of frequency. Just attend that class, you'll get to know why I have taken the definition of frequency as a separate class. It is going to be a very good class, and these are the other topics. These are the details of the classes, the upcoming special classes. Okay, so Avanya, what you can do is just download the Unacademy's learner app. You can type my name, Kalyan Krishna Awasthi, and there you'll get my previous classes. For class 9th and 10th both. If you want to opt for class 10th, just select class 10th and you'll get all my special classes that are free. You don't have to pay for any of these special classes. In case you're not able to unlock any class, just use this code, KALYANLIVE. This is the code. If you'll be using this code, all the special classes will be unlocked. All the classes that have taken place so far, you'll find more than 10 to 12 classes. So I guess that will be enough for you to decide the to go for the subscription. I'm damn sure that you'll go for the plus subscription once you watch these special classes. For other faculty members as well, you can watch their special classes and decide. Okay, so this is it for right, and the pricing is very competitive, very, very, very competitive. Okay, friend, you got it. Right. Let me quickly brief you about the features of these special classes. Many of you are new. So what we have this poll section. We do create polls. We have a number of polls in the special classes. Why are polls important? Because they help us to, see our performance, and the performance is evaluated on 2 parameters. Accuracy, which is obviously the most important parameter, and speed. It's not that I'm accurate in half an hour. No. See, we have that time frame as well. How promptly did you reply, and what is your standing in a particular class. And the best part is you have this doubt tab. You can ask questions, right? You have this doubt tab, you can ask questions, right? And there is an option for this attach an image as well. If you wish to attach an image, you can send the query, right? It will be completed, friend, don't worry. It will be completed. I'm there now. I'll complete it. Don't worry about this. And this is how you can watch these special classes. You can download the Unacademy app. That is what I was telling you about. Click on the get started part, enter your mobile number, enter your name, create your account, select the class 6 to 12 part, ICSE 10th or 9th, whatever your standard is. Hopefully you'll be going for English. Yes. And you can use the code Kalyan Live. This is the code. This will help you unlock all the classes. Okay. Anyway, I guess this is it. Fine. So where were we? Okay, the bell jar experiment was complete, and we were supposed to start with the wave motion part. Okay, my friend, you're bothered about the completion of this session. So we are here. I'll be completing the session in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And Avanya, you can stay in the session for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and you can, just see the quality of teaching, and, that might help you decide whether to go for the subscription or not. So whenever we are considering any motion through wave, so what we actually do, let us create a wave. What is a wave? I've told you that wave is a disturbance which propagates in a medium with a definite speed. Okay, let me consider this as xt and this is t. So this is a wave. Now, if we wish to understand the wave motion, we have to understand the terms rather. I mean, if you're not able to understand what a particular term means, how will you able to understand what and when to use a term? So the very first part is the amplitude. And what is amplitude? Let me say, what is amplitude? See, you can clearly notice the loudness here. I'm kind of shouting. Yes, I'm kind of shouting, and this is my normal voice. What is amplitude? I mean, what is amplitude? What is amplitude? What is amplitude? What is amplitude? So see, you can notice the difference. And technically, in physics, what is this difference? I mean, I have to use extra force to create the sound. So amplitude is what? The displacement in either directions, the maximum displacement rather. Okay. Amplitude is rather the maximum displacement on either sides, okay, of the mean position. When we are talking in terms of waves, it is the maximum displacement on either sides. Is it clear? Yes. The other is the time period. Now what is time period? See, if I start from here, and this is where I complete a single cycle. I mean, I started from here and this is one complete cycle. So what is time period? Time period is the time taken to complete one vibration. See here, I'm defining every term in terms of vibrations. And why am I using the term vibration? Because we are studying sound. Okay, so in sound, everything is perceived in terms of vibrations. What are vibrations? Vibrations are the disturbances rather that we were talking about. Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. Yes, sir, it is clear. Okay, I guess you were there in the previous session as well, so it might be crystal clear now. Yes, I mean, don't talk about clarity now, talk about crystal clarity. Yes, yes, you should rather say, sir, it is crystal clear now. Okay, the part is frequency. Okay, let me explain you with another example. Every one of you has seen pendulum. Yes, a pendulum moving. This is a pendulum. And how does it? I got you. Yes, yes, I understood. You attended the previous class. This is how a pendulum moves to and fro about a mean position. I mean, it has nothing to do with sound, but in order to establish these terms, I have to take this example. I mean, in the special class, you were not there. You were there. Yes. I guess you were there in the special class. Yes. Okay. So, what was time period? Time period is the time taken to complete one vibration. And what is frequency? Frequency is the number of vibrations per second. Okay. I mean, if I am going to my house, or maybe I'm visiting a particular shop thrice a day, so my frequency is 3. Yes. I mean, if I am visiting a particular shop thrice a day, so I'll rather say that my frequency is 3. Okay, fine. I hope it's clear now. Yes, I hope it is clear now. Is it? Okay, fine. See, so what is frequency? Frequency is the number of vibrations per second. I mean, what are the number of vibrations per second? I mean, how many times, if I take the example, okay, if I take the example of a pendulum bob, then how many times the bob is moving in one time period? Okay, I mean, if it is moving thrice or maybe 4 times or maybe 5 times, so I'll rather say that the frequency is 3, 4 or 5. Okay, and in one particular time period, the total distance that the wave covers, I mean, now this can be perceived in different ways. Just look at this particular part. Let me select a highlighter, which I'm not able to select. I'm sorry. See, if I start from here, see this. This is also a one time period. Yes or no? This is also a single time period. See, I left this part here and I have left this part here. But still, if you join these two curves, you will get a one single vibration. I mean, it is equal to this. Yes. So, this particular distance, this is called wavelength. Okay. And the wavelength part is perceived when we draw a graph between displacement and distance. I mean, this graph can be drawn in two ways. See, wave motion is studied through two particular graphs. Let me tell you. One is the displacement time graph. I mean, displacement time graph. And the second one is the displacement distance graph. Okay. And the basic nature of both the curves is same. I mean, in both the cases, I mean, you get this curve here also, and you get a similar curve here also. Both the curves are identical. Here, the x-axis is time. This is always displacement. This is a displacement. And here, this is time. Let me displacement. This is displacement. So when I move in a this is distance. This is distance. When I'm moving on a displacement distance graph, then what I get is this particular length. This is wavelength. This wavelength. Just remember this. Remember this. A number of students are often confused regarding this, regarding the positioning of this wavelength. Always remember one thing, that this wavelength will be placed. I mean, you will be representing wavelength on a displacement distance graph, and all the other parameters on displacement time graph. See, this is your amplitude. This is your amplitude, right? See, you'll be having an amplitude here as well. This is also an amplitude. We call amplitude as A. This is amplitude A. This is an amplitude A. Okay. So these are all amplitudes, and time taken in one particular vibration. I mean, the time which we take in one particular vibration. So if I talk about the time period, this has to be the time period. Yes. This is the time period. I mean, this is one complete vibration, and the number of vibrations in one time period will give you the frequency. So that is what we were talking about. Now there is one more term that is called wave velocity. I mean, this is very important. This is a very important term. And what does it signify? It says the distance traveled by the wave in 1 second. Now see, I haven't included the relation part, so I'll be telling you the relation here only. So far we have discussed amplitude. I hope you have got this one. Amplitude is the maximum displacement. Then we have discussed time period. What is time period? Time period is the time taken to complete one vibration. See, this vibration can be of any type, so we are not bothered about the type of vibration. Okay. Then we have this frequency. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of vibrations in 1 second. Just keep this in mind. Frequency accounts for unit time. You have to be very, very, very particular about this. Frequency always accounts for unit time. Okay, all of you, just be very particular about this. Frequency always accounts for unit time. Then you have this wavelength. I have already told you the distance traveled by the wave in one time period, and you've clearly seen that this indeed is a single time period. Yes, it is a single time period. No second thoughts about this. Okay, the last part is wave velocity. Now, what is wave velocity? Wave velocity is the distance traveled by the wave in 1 second. Okay, in 1 second, how much distance the wave is traveling will tell you what the wave velocity is. This is a very important term, and you get a numerical question on this. I mean, on wave velocity, they do ask a question. Okay, and one more thing, this wave velocity depends on the medium. I mean, if you are changing the medium, the velocity of the wave will change. Okay, just make this a very, very important point. And on what particular parameters this wavelength depends? Can anyone tell me? Anyone in the session? Wavelength depends on which particular parameter? Anyone in the session? See, Wavelength as well depends on the medium. No one is replying. Wavelength as well depends on, yes, very good. Wavelength as well depends on the medium. And wave velocity depends on which two parameters of medium? Okay, yes. I'll adjust slowly and steadily. I'll get to know that it does take 2 seconds for you. I mean, for everyone. Yes, yes, and I got you. I got you. And okay, on which parameter the wave velocity depends? I'm waiting for 2 seconds. Okay. I hope you're not Googling it and answering me. Elasticity and which property of the medium? It depends on elasticity and density of medium. Okay. Just make. Can you tell me the frequency depends on which particular parameter? Frequency. Okay. Googling will take 4-5 minutes. On what parameter does frequency depend? See, always remember this. Frequency is a characteristic property. Okay. Frequency is a characteristic property. We call it intrinsic property. Okay. So I was talking about the wave velocity. What was wave velocity? Wave velocity was the distance traveled by the wave in 1 second. Okay, now tell me, what is wavelength? What is wavelength? Yes, Krish got it right. What is wavelength? Lambda. How can you define lambda? What was lambda? Wavelength. Wavelength was the distance traveled by the wave in one time period. Yes, it was the distance covered in one time period. And what is distance? Distance is speed into time. So what is speed? Speed is v. And what is time? Time is t. So what we have? We have lambda is equal to v into t, or lambda upon t is equal to p. And 1 upon t is what? 1 upon t is f. So what we have is v is equal to f lambda. You do get numerical questions on this particular article. I mean, the relation between velocity, frequency and wavelength. It is a very important part. Okay. I hope the logic is pretty much clear to everyone in the session. Let me quickly recap the session. Let me quickly revisit all the topics that we have discussed so far in this session. I hope you found the session interesting. We started off with the propagation of sound waves. We have established that sound waves do require a medium for propagation. And how did we get to know that sound waves require a medium? We have performed that bell jar experiment. Tomorrow, let me check tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a special class. Tomorrow is 24th, right? Yes, tomorrow we have a special class and I'll be covering wave motion. Okay. Tomorrow we have a special class and I'll be covering wave motion, the next part. Okay. The timing, obviously. Yes, I showed you that slide that contains the details of all my classes. I guess you haven't downloaded it yet. Just take a snap of it, save it in your mobile so that you don't get confused with the timing. See, for 9th, the timing will always be 7:45 p.m. no matter what. The special classes will be from 7:45 only. Okay, so tomorrow I am having a class on wave motion. Okay, and in case you are interested in knowing how a DC motor works, I mean, this might fascinate you as well. In case you are interested to know how a DC motor works, you can join the class at 6:30 as well. I'll be explaining the working of a DC motor. If I'm not wrong, someone from class 9th in one of the special session asked me, sir, how does a DC motor work? So I'll be telling you how does a DC motor work. I mean, not the way Amir Khan told in 3 Idiot. Yes. So I won't be telling you that way. I'll be telling you the technical part of it. I mean, yes. How does it start? How does it work? This all we shall be discussing in the tomorrow's 10th class at 6:30 p.m. Okay, fine. I hope the session was interesting. Yes. In case you have any question, in case you have any query, you can just drop it in the chat box. I'll be more than willing to help you out with this. Else, I hope the session was great for everyone. You might have learned something new. Like, okay, Krish, bye, good night. Yes, bye, good night. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Yes, in the special class, both of you. Good night. Yes, just enroll for that particular class. I mean, there is a tab for getting enrolled. Just enroll that class. Yes, all of you. Okay, guys. Good night. Sweet dreams. Study well, and we shall meet again tomorrow at 7:45, possibly. Yes. Till then, take care. Goodbye.